a lot of people confuse Jamaica. People think that Jamaica is in Africa. Yeah, I used also to think the same because we are black people. Black people, we love each other. Now, Jamaicans love us as black people. We also love Jamaicans as black people because
Hello, Wagwan.
hello, wagwan, man.
You know, I've used Wagwan because in today's video, we are in Jamaica.
Bombo clad.
Bombo clad. Okay, do you know a country called Jamaica?
Yeah, I know a country called Jamaica. It's one of most known countries and one of a lot of people confuse Jamaica. People think that Jamaica is in Africa. Yeah, I used also to think the same because we don't have even much difference as Africans with Jamaicans. Yeah, so I know the fastest man in the world comes from Jamaica, Usain Bolt. Did you know that?
The fastest man in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Also, did you know that Bob Marley comes from Jamaica? Bob Marley.
Oh, not South Africa, Bob Marley. Yeah.
The person who comes from South Africa is
Lucky Dube.
Lucky Dube. Bob Marley is Jamaican. Yes. So I think I know a little bit about Jamaica. I also like their cuisine. I like their foods. You know. How do we call this food that you cut and then you sip some water inside it? I've forgotten its name. I normally love it, and especially it's in places where we have beaches. Another thing that I know about Jamaica is it has beautiful beaches, bro. The beach is so beautiful. The scenery there is so beautiful. That's what I like. I know and like about Jamaica.
Okay.
Yes.
There is this perception that a lot of Africans love Jamaica so much, and even a lot of Jamaicans love Africans so much. I don't know if I'm right. If I'm right, just comment down there. Is it true that Jamaicans love Africans so much and Africans love Jamaica so much? So the question of today is, why do you think Jamaicans love Africans? Or why do you think Africans love Jamaicans so much?
It's simple and straight. We are black people. Black people, we love each other. Now, Jamaicans love us as black people. We also love Jamaicans as black people because, you know, the slave trade happened. We have Jamaicans, we have people from Barbados, we have people from the Caribbeans, you know. All these people are as a result of slave trade, which happened in Africa. So we share a lot of things. And also their neighbors in the United States have black Americans who are also blacks. So you understand that we have a lot that we share, you know. And we, Africans, we embrace Jamaican music.
Yeah.
That's reggae, that's dancehall, you know, call all those genres. We love them as Africans. We also look alike, you know. It's not all about being a black person because we have black people who are not black.
Sure.
So we also look alike, you know, like we are color. If Jamaicans walk here, you won't notice any difference that this is an African, this is Jamaican. And that also answers you as to why most of Africans confuse that Jamaica is in Africa, because there is no difference. 1 year ago, I used to know that Jamaica is in Africa. I didn't know that Jamaica is just a country somewhere in the island, from the Caribbeans. You know, I didn't know that. It took me some time to know that, in as much as we are black people, we are in different countries, and we trace it back to Africa, where it is the mother of everything, the mother of music, even the reggae. Even the dancehall. Talk about people like contemporary singers like Conscience, you know. They both trace their roots back in Africa. People like Popcorn. These are Jamaicans. These are singers who trace their root back in Africa. Yes.
You have mentioned Jamaica and Caribbean islands, and we find that a lot of, if I ask you, maybe, do you know any other countries in Caribbean island?
Haiti or something?
Okay, that comes to my question. Why is it that Jamaica is only the most popular country in Caribbean island? There is Haiti, there is Barbados, there is Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
There is Haiti. Why is it Jamaica the most popular?
I believe that they haven't worked. Other countries in the island haven't worked so hard to embrace, to make themselves on the picture as Jamaicans have done. You know. And I like Jamaicans because they are so mobile people. For example, here in Kenya, last time, even last week, Conscious was in Kenya, you know.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So this exchange that we have with them makes us integrate a lot so much, and it shows how close we are as black people. I know things which are happening in Haiti. You've mentioned Trinidad or something.
Yeah.
I believe that they are also known, but I know so well that Jamaicans are people who, I mean, they send themselves. They are hardworking, and even their music, even reggae. Trust me, in our Kenyan bars, a day won't pass even on a weekend without hearing a reggae being played, you know. Talk about people like Bob Marley, you know. So Jamaica is just beautiful. And even I've talked about their beaches, you know.
Yeah.
The beach is so natural, the water is so clean. I also noticed that their type of houses that they have, they're so beautiful because they're just located along the shores, you know. And you imagine waking up in a place where you just see the beach, you know, the sunshine, the nature. I've forgotten the name of this mountain, which is in Jamaica, which is also known, which puts Jamaica in a spotlight, you know. Yeah, and these types of biomes, we can also use them to identify that what country is being known for. So I believe that Jamaica is, they are hardworking people, and they are outgoing people, and they have this vibe, they have this energy. When a person talks to you, you know, what a guan, a black person, bombo clad, something like that. That energy makes them so vibrant, and people know them, people love them for who they are. And I believe that they put themselves in a spotlight where we back at home in Africa, we can recognize them, we resonate with them, and we love them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And another thing, when we talk about Bob Marley, he was passing messages, strong messages through his music. And there's a lot of artists who sing reggae, maybe they pass a lot of messages through their music. And even people were saying that maybe some of them were terminated by the, okay, I'm not the one saying that. Do you think that Jamaica, or the musicians from Jamaica, they have these strong feelings for Africa? That's why they always defend Africans, passing the info through music.
Let me tell you one thing. Reggae is not just music. Reggae is spiritual. Reggae is a spiritual music, and the message that it has, it's so strong. And I understand that our African history have failed us to some point in recognizing the place of reggae in fighting for slavery, the place of reggae in fighting for justice for the black people, the place, the role of reggae in bringing social justices which are happening around us. I want to take you back to a person like Lucky Dube. Like Dube in his songs, in the reggae, he talked about some social things which happens even today, corruption, you know. No, for Bob Marley was just more than a musician. Bob Marley was an activist, you know. Bob Marley talks about the rights of people, you know. The song Stand Up For Your Rights, you know. You need to stand up, you need to stand out and shout and say what you think. Black people have always faced struggle, especially people from the United States, the African Americans, you know. So songs like this were to advocate for equal rights, were to remove the social injustices which black people were going through, the oppression. And that's the time when Bob Marley was really known in the whole continent and in Africa generally as black people. So it goes a long way. It plays a big role. We as Africans, seeing our brothers who, at some point should have been in Africa, doing great job, people like Bob Marley who died. And we also have the likes of, his brother is called somebody Marley, I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten.
Just know Rita Marley.
Rita Marley, the sister. I've also, I know his brother. They're still doing great work. And as I said, reggae is something which is spiritual, because the message which it passes to the people, it touches the greatest things which have ever happened in the black history. Take your time, go look at the roles of Bob Marley, the roles that he did to the black people. Yeah.
Will you tell Jamaicans, our African partners, will you advise them to come back to Africa, some of them, and trace their roots maybe? Will you advise them like?
I might advise them, but it's quite difficult to do that, because it's totally hard to convince a person who have stayed in a place for 80 years, 60 years, 50 years, to just relocate, you know. One thing I would like to understand is understanding the black consciousness If you understand that you're an African, that's enough. If you go with the African culture, that's enough. You can be in the United States, you can be in somewhere around Japan or somewhere, but when
Shanghai.
but when you embrace the African culture, I mean, that's important. You can come to visit Africa. It's your place. This is the place where you come from, and it's important for you to understand your African culture as a language, but convincing you to come to Africa, I think that's something which is personal.
Yeah, sure.
If a person feels like they want to reconnect with their motherland, I mean, coming back home to Africa, they can consider doing that, But the only thing that I can tell them is to embrace the African culture.
Now, last question on the last one. Jamaica, they are believed that many people believe that marijuana is legalized. I think bang is legalized in Jamaica, but themselves they say that it's not legalized. Do you think that bang, something the one we see is being portrayed on social media? Do you think the influence it has to youths in Kenya maybe or in Africa, that's why it has made us, maybe youths from Africa, love them so much? Do you think it's because of that is one of the characteristics?
If I understand your question, you're asking if marijuana is predominantly something which is used in Jamaica, and so Africans are so influenced to also use it, and so it is not legalized in some of our African countries, right? I mean, that's quite a difficult question for me, but my take on this is I'll say that a drug is a drug. When you use it in a bad way, it will affect you, whether you're in Jamaica or whether you're in back home or Africa, So I know, people say that most of people who use marijuana or something, they come from Jamaica, and it is true. These things have been done in Jamaica. We have farms, we have land masses which they have grown these things, I understand a plant, the same plant like marijuana, might mean something different in Jamaica.
Sure.
And it also might mean something different when it's used in Kenya.
Sure.
So for Jamaicans, it might be something which is in their culture, But in Kenya, a person wants it to do it maybe to relieve their stress.
Yeah.
They want to do something. But in Jamaica, it might mean different thing, which I'm not so certain about it, but I believe.
Bro, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Eugene Diastories, yeah?
Eugene Docustories.
Eugene Docustories.
Eugene Docustories, Eugene from Kenya. I do African content, geopolitics, Black American content, and people from the Caribbean and all black people in general.
My friends from Jamaica, my fans from Jamaica, my followers from Jamaica, kindly follow this my amazing man. He said a lot about Jamaica, and don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. You can join the membership on our channels. Do you have membership? You can join membership.
I have membership on.
You can send super thanks, my brothers. Yeah, man.
Yeah, sure.
Until next time, my name is Kenyan Based. Come with me.
And
Let's roll the African way.
Eugene Docustories.